there ever a time when you said, "Oh my God, I don't want to sing Ma Baker again," or "I don't want to sing Mary's Boy Child again"? So, was there ever, yeah, or not? My first question is always the same. I ask every time, how are you at the moment? I mean, these are crazy times. There was the pandemic and now there is, yeah, another situation. But how are you right now?
Gee, I guess I'm as good as the rest of the world, because I don't think we've had a chance to breathe, you know what I mean? It's been from the last 2.5 years, it's just been breathtaking the way the world just changed, And I think everybody in the world has been impacted by it, whether it is from the shock of it all, or it's from you losing a member of your family, or your work being turned upside down, or it's just been an awakening that most people have never seen before. And now with the war, it's like a continuation of something we can't even imagine that could happen. Yeah.
Let's talk about something positive, some positive vibes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your music because I talked to Fabian Moss, who did the album about Münchner Freiheit, and you
Mhm.
were a part of this album. You sang a song,
It's the
and
idea.
my first question is, why did you decide to do that?
Well, I get a lot of requests from people all over the world sending me emails. Oh, we'd like to have you on our record. Do you think you'd like to sing a song? Da, 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 da. And it's always been a little bit scary for me because I don't really know exactly what people need from me, and what the imagination is. And sometimes it can be more than I think I can give, or less than I think I should give. It's very difficult to navigate. But I always refer back to my fan base, and there's a lot of people who love the music of Boney M, but I'm not like the member of the group that is on top of all the fans. I'm not out there every day sending them messages and trying to keep a whole multitude of people following me, and things like that. But I've had since the beginning, or should I say, even the disruption of Boney M, which was in the 80s, I've had three, four, maybe up to maybe 10 fans who have been very instrumental in making sure that I don't give up. They
Yeah.
want me to continue to sing, yes. And it was two of them that obviously said to me they thought that this was a good project, and that it would be nice if I did it. And to be honest with you, when you're celebrating 40 years, it's a landmark. You have done very well indeed to have arrived at that at stage, especially in this business.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let me hear the songs and see if any of them, I'd be comfortable with. And yes, there was one. Well, there were a couple that I thought I could manage, but this one is the one we ended up choosing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's it.
But if
Compliments
it,
to Munchina Freiheit, obviously, and happy, a wonderful, successful 40 years. I hope they will have,
yeah.
or
But
they've
if we
had.
talk about the music, if we talk about the music of Boney M, I mean, there are so many songs, and you still go on stage, you perform them together with your daughter. And
Yeah.
what kind of feeling is it to know that there are so many fans all over the world who love Ma Baker and so on, who know every song by heart? What kind of feeling is this?
It's a wonderful feeling to arrive at a place where people remember your songs, and keep remembering your songs. That is the good part, that they keep
Yeah,
remembering it. Uh-huh. And when I remember when we first started and first recording the songs of Boney M, nobody, I don't believe anybody knew 100% what the status of the group would be today. And
Hmm.
if they say they did, I would say, well, you must have some special eyes to see way in the future, you know, because
Yeah.
show business is so difficult. And the people that we think at the time, they're, you know, humongous stars, are not, their songs are not remembered today. And then people that you thought, well, the song is mediocre and it's not, it doesn't really, you know, and then those are the songs that I remember today. So you just don't know. So we are really blessed, I think, and I am exceptionally grateful to God for the gift of song and for sound and for spirit and for life and a lot.
But you're the only one who is allowed to call yourself on stage Boney M. And no, is that right? That you're the only one, Boney M,
Well,
featuring?
let me put it this way. In the early '90s, when I started to do my Liz Mitchell solo uh, performances, it was during this period that I was invited to do a remix with Simon Cowell, and then Frank Farren did the second one was Boney M. Gold, and I sang 4 songs on that album. And during this period, um, they wanted me to, they liked it that I should take the music of Boney M with my solo records. So they gave me, which they didn't have to give me because honestly, I am the sound of Boney M. So nobody has to give me the rights to use the name of Boney M because it, it just makes no sense. They don't need to, but they did put it on the record. And that I, you know, I was the authentic member of singing the songs, and that's why they wanted me to bring these songs with me on the show because you know, all respects to my colleagues and the beautiful image we had there. Boney M do have a sound. If you buy a Nat King Cole record, it's a Nat King Cole record. You know what I mean? If you, even if there is a versions of Nat King Cole, Nat King Cole will always be who Nat King Cole is. And I think Boney M will always be who Boney M was. You know, the sound of Boney M is what it is.
And what kind of feeling is it to work together with your daughter on stage?
Oh, it's wonderful. She is an amazing singer, and she's she's very strong. She's very giving. She's emotional. she's she is a wonderful young woman. Wonderful.
We already talked about it a little bit. If you compare music business from, yeah, like it was, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years ago to now, what would you say is the main difference between the past and present?
Right. Right. Well, we have gone through some elastic pulling, if you know what I mean, in the business where people were stretching the music to their needs or to what they were understanding was their feelings. You know, I mean, hip hop has been out now what nearly 30 years, and they have taken the music to another level, where melody became secondary and the the spoken word was the front line of everything. And I think that everybody has come to the point where they discover that right now the soul needs to be soothed with music because melody, that's what melody does. And even when they were doing the spoken word, they still needed you know, some melody underneath it, otherwise it would not soothe the soul so much. There is something about a good melody. And you don't even need words. If you have a really true melody, a sound that really rings through the heart and does what we need it to do, which is to heal us, you know. So I think we're coming to that place again because there's been so much hardship over the last couple of years. I think people's souls need to be soothed and not so we don't become too bitter and too angry.
It may be a stupid question, but I have to ask you, what is the special thing about the Boney M melody, because in Germany we call it Wiedererkennungswert. You know, that you hear a song and you know, ah, okay, it's Boney M, or it sounds like Boney M. What is the special thing about your music?
Well, I think that's what I was talking about earlier when I said to you that the music of Boney M is unique in that way. It's like Nat King Cole being unique, or Elvis Presley, for instance, has his own sound. There are certain entertainers who can interpret the sound for it to have a meaning. How do I say that? You know, it's like you can have 20 people singing one song, but one person sings the song and that song suddenly has a meaning and it stays with you. Do you follow what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's an interpretation, it's a feeling, that a presentation that that person. And I think I was fortunate with a blessing to have been able to do that. So the interpretation of our music, people recognize as Boney M. Somebody said that to me once, that that they know they thought that the way I sang was truthful. I don't know. That's an interpretation. Frank Farian gives a different interpretation. He just thinks I have a unique voice. Um, so everybody will take whatever it is that they get from the music, but the point is they get something. Is that it's memorable, it's lasting, and it's feeding, it's giving to the listener something.
As I said before, you are on stage. I saw you on Fernsehgarten, for example, but you
I,
are on stage all over the world and you sing your songs. Was there ever a time when you said, "Oh my God, I don't want to sing Ma Baker again," or "I don't want to sing Mary's Boy Child again"? So, was there ever, yeah, or not?
yeah, I guess there will always be a moment when you're not in the mood, and somebody is requesting for you to sing. But
Yeah.
if I have an appointment, meaning I know that I have a job to do, a concert, or as you say, a TV show, then you prepare yourself for this. I always say it's like being in the theater. A person who plays a Lion King, who's been in the theater like forever, and every night they have to do the same show, right? And they have to sing the same songs, right? And they have to make the audience feel like it's the first time they've ever performed these songs. And it's the same thing. Your audience is fresh, and they're coming for a reason. They want to share this moment with you because you did something for them with this song. So that's how I feel when I go on stage. So the only time I would feel uncomfortable in singing a song is if it's like in a private setting where it's not necessary, or it's just to boast or to do something. That's, for me, that's not important. But if the audience is coming to be fed, I'm prepared.
What do you think about the audience on social media? You are on Instagram, I saw. Do you use social media?
No, I'm not very good at social media. As I said, I have a few wonderful fans who are regularly encouraging me to stay, inside, so that people don't think I'm not around. And they do encourage me and they know that I'm not like a daily, this is what I'm doing person. I don't have that kind of well, it's not even need or desire. I just don't know if it's necessary, but I do know that there are people who are on there 2-3 times a day.
This is my lunch.
Talking.
This is my breakfast.
Yeah, this is what I ate for lunch. I don't have that what you call it. I don't feel that pull to do that. But if something is important, like when the war started, I felt like I needed to say something. I wasn't sure how to go about it, and the fan that does my Instagram for me said they would gladly put something up, and they did. They asked me, What would you like to say? And I told them, I sent them a message and they put it up for me. And what is wonderful is that they don't just put, even though they know I need to be there, they don't just take it on themselves to put stuff. So when they do put something, most of the time it's what I said, or or something I totally wanted to say.
So let's talk about your plans for 2022. um, what are there some projects or some concept? We all don't know how this everything goes all concerning pandemic and so on. I think in England there are a little bit less rules right now. I don't know concerning Corona. But what are your plans for this year?
Okay, right. Yes, things are like upside down. We don't really
Yeah.
know ourselves for sure, but there is the discussion about us being able to move forward. I'm always working on projects. They don't always come to become into to being, but I am always trying to work on something, and I'm hoping with my son Tuan, who is Black Magic. Most people knew him as Black Magic in his day. He's a producer as well, so he's most of the time. That was his son, really. He's most of the time with me on working on ideas, and hopefully one of the ideas will come into proper being, and then you will clearly hear about it. Hopefully.